Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Connie Douglas from Great Stamping with Connie. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada. It is Thursday, May 19th at noon, and this is lunch break. So welcome. Thank you for joining me. If you are here watching me, give me a hello, hello. I'm out here in social media land, I guess. Didn't they used to say hello, hello, I'm out here in TV land or something? I'm probably dating myself. That was probably back in maybe the 60s. Anyway, we are here on social media, and I just have to turn my head for a moment. Oh, my cats are jumping up into the windows. Can you see that window? It's not truly a window. I am at the cottage, and that was I got all sorts of lights in my picture. I'll just move them around a little bit. That was a bedroom window from my bedroom when I was growing up, and then there's another window that was the window from my parents' bedroom, and they both looked out to the lake. And then my dad built this sunroom. And so they're not really windows anymore, but he left them and didn't cover them over, because then there would be no windows in those rooms and no natural light and very little air movement. So the windows do still open. They open to this area to allow airflow and that sort of thing. When we open these screens in the screened-in sunroom, air gets into the bedrooms. But in the meantime, my cats go into the windows and play with the little stick, the little pole from the shades, the blinds. So I hear them up there. Anyway, it is a bit of a rainy day in cottage country, sadly, and it is a little chilly. I put on a sweatshirt this morning. The sunroom where I work is it's a seasonal kind of room. There is no heat source out here. The heat source in the cottage really is the fireplace. So we do have an insert now that Steve put in last summer. So that is awesome. And there are blowers on it, and we have fans in the living room. So the air does move out here when, well, that door is open. I closed it just so he could move around in the cottage. But anyway, it does blow heat out here, but we close the door overnight. And so in the morning, it's a little nippy out here right now because it's still getting cold at night up here. And sadly, it's not supposed to be a really warm, long weekend, which is sad. But anyway, we're not here to discuss the weather, but we are Canadian, so we must at least touch on the weather, mustn't we? Anyway, we do have some crafting to get to. So let's get going with that. I'm just going to flip this down and grab this and whoops, knock you over. Hit this button. Come on, baby. There we go. Get my cords coming and going and all that stuff. And then see if we have, I think we have it in the picture, hopefully. And we can get started. So what I was thinking we would do today is play with some designer series paper. And I have two different designer series papers. The first one is called Happy Forest Friends. And it is, it's some fun patterns. I'll just pull out a couple pieces to share with you. This one has some mushrooms growing, I guess. And then there's one here with all sorts of little forest friends. There is a coordinating stamp set, possibly even bundle. I did not order that at this point, but I did order the designer series paper because I love designer series paper, and I want it. They're so much nicer when you see them live and in person. So I wanted to get some of these so that I could share them with you, and I will do a little bit that in a little bit more detail next week during my catalog kickoff. So if you have not yet mark your calendar for next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday evening. So right after the long weekend, I will be live on Facebook each evening to share all sorts of fun things from the new catalog. So Okay, so I'm looking at my picture. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, looks like my internet is very slow today. Hopefully this is going okay. Anyway, that package of paper has two pieces in it that I think are really unique and interesting. And this is one of them. So I look at this piece and I think, oh, look, you could cut this. And there's like the most adorable card right there. All of these trees would be super easy to fussy cut around. So you could do that. And then look, here's another card right there. And then we have some fun mountains. You could do a landscape card with some mountains. So just really fun things on this paper that you could cut out and use bits and pieces to create some great cards. And this is the other piece that I pulled out. And this one, if you were to cut it across here and then into, sort of thirds, here is a card. Look at that, with a little bit of color and some trees. Or you could use the top part. So you could have just for a woodland sort of background to your card. So this is a great way to create some super quick, super easy, and yet wonderful cards, because the paper does all the heavy lifting for you. So that's what I decided I would do. I would let the paper do the heavy lifting for me. And look, here is one of these ones that I have cut out and got ready to make a card with. So this is Calypso Coral. And so I thought I'd use that to add a pop of color. I've used Sahara Sand for my card base, just a standard card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So I'm just going to fold that in half and give it a nice crease with my bone folder. And then I made this border very narrow because I just wanted to have a little pop of the Calypso Coral. And so I will just use liquid glue here. Because it is a narrow border, I like to use my liquid glue so that I can just move this around a little bit if I need to get things lined up. And I didn't on the first go. Oh, look, apparently my cat does not like being locked out of this room. Probably because he hears my voice as well. So he's meowing at the door. I may need to let him in, but we'll see. I think MSH is trying to entertain him, so we'll see how that goes. Got a little bit of extra glue on there, and I did not have that on my silicone mat, so I will have to give that a little better clean later, but I think I'm okay for now. I also need to put graph paper onto my list of things to bring from home, because I have a whole pad of it at home, and I have one sheet up here. So that's what we're getting. So there's that, and then I'll just add a sentiment. So I just have a strip of basic white cardstock, and I was thinking of thank you. So I have my Calypso Coral ink here. Open this guy up and give it a little tap, tap, tap. Stamp it down on there. Oh my, that did not go well. Where's my paper towel? I don't even see any ink on the edge of this. I guess the little bit that was there went onto the paper. I'll give this a second try. There we go. That is better. Okay, and then I pulled out my double oval punch, which is actually, I guess I should close this up so I don't lean in it or anything ridiculous. This is the double oval punch, so I thought I would punch out the sentiment with the plain oval, and then we can do a scalloped one with some Calypso coral to add another little pop of color. There we go. Just flick stuff everywhere. And then I have some Calypso coral, and I'll just punch one of these. Okay, and then where's my tape runner? So now there's just some assembly required. Okay, so just put some stamp and seal on there, and get this down onto here. Oop. There we go. And then this is a regular 1/4 inch border, so I should be okay with tape runner here. It's usually not so difficult to see that I need to do a lot of wiggling, as long as little trickier on camera when I'm not quite over top of my work, but I will be brave and go for it. There we go. So we've got that on there, and then I will pop this up with some dimensionals. There we go. It's sort of precariously sitting at the edge of my table there. Now, I think over here, I'm just going to put him right on there. There we go. And then, of course, we need some gems. And so I have, this is a very fat package. It is almost all of the new gems. So let's just see what we will play with this time. Oh, these might work well because they're sort of have that coloring, don't they? Lots of different colored items. Oh, there's some greens as well. Okay, so here's some choices. We have these are the 21 to 23 in colors. So this is Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent. I'm not sure. I kind of think this is Mossy Meadow. Yeah, it's not quite the same green. So I think we will go with these. I'll crack into this new package of gems. Woohoo! Always an exciting time, isn't it? So these are rustic metallic dots, and they are a little bit shiny. They're kind of a, wow, they're not quite brass. I'm not quite sure what color. They're a metal color. I want to say a gunmetal color, but they're not. They're a little more greenish toned. Anyway, they're almost like a soft suede sort of color, but shiny in that. So I think that's why they coordinate so nicely with this. So let's use these. Whatever their official color is, doesn't really matter. They just look good on here. And that's the main thing, right? So, oops, I took that off the wrong end. Wouldn't work well. Okay, whoop. Come on, baby. Ooh. Now it's stuck. There we go. It's stuck to the paper now, but I saved it. So I'll put on one of those. I think I have kind of funny stuff going on the end here. I'll just turn that up a little bit more and get some more of it out. Maybe I'll go right down to this part. Could be a little bit lower then, couldn't it? There, maybe like that. This guy over a little bit, onto the tree a little more. I don't know. You know me, sometimes my gems just go perfectly on, and other times I have to play with them 18,000 times, as I'm doing there. Anyway, there we go. Look at that. Quick and easy. Because the Designer Series paper did all the work. This was part of it that I cut off of the top, and the back has some really nice little greenery branches, so I was thinking I could just put this right into here on one side or the other side, maybe the inside as opposed to the outside, maybe the inside. And I think I'm just going to cut a little bit of an angle on there to make it look kind of like it belongs or something. Or shall I do, maybe I'll do chevron banner ends. Give it a try. See how close I am to the middle here. There we go. I think that that works. There, that'll work. Okay, so we'll just add this on the inside just to add a little extra zippity pizzazz piece. You like that? That's a crafting word, I think. Zippity pizzazz. It's not zippity doo-dah, because we're not going anywhere. We're actually getting stuck down. It's just zippity pizzazz. So there you go. Now the inside is decorated as well. Quick and easy. Okay, the other package of paper that I have, similar sort of situation. It's called A Wash in Beauty. And it is all these beautiful flowers. There's, where did I, oh, here we go. Here's a piece with, look at those colors. Just beautiful. Polished pink and Mary Merlot. I think that's Mossy Meadow and kind of looks like Granny Apple Green. I could just look at the back, but that would be cheating. Balmy Blue. Anyway, it is lovely. And there is a paper in here that's very similar to the styling of the one that we just used. This guy here. So it's very easy to cut it in half or somewhere to split the two, and then you cut it into card widths. And ta-da, you have a card, or you have a beautiful designer series paper for a card. So, look, that's what we're going to do. So I have cut this piece, and I wanted some white at the top. I had thought about stamping my sentiment right on here, but I think that's possibly a little bit higher than I would want it. So I do, I have my white paper to add a sentiment, but I did cut a little bit off of the bottom of this one. So now, I mean, you could use that sort of greenery, but look at the back. Ooh, some little pink checks. Here's a larger piece of the back so you can see it a little bit better. But I like that, so I thought, oh, this could go on the inside of this card. So we're making some quick and easy cards, but a little bit fancy because the insides are all decorated as well as the outsides. It doesn't take any more work from us, and it uses up those little scraps that if you don't use them right away, they sit around. Speaking of sitting around, there should be a bone folder sitting around because I just used it how many seconds ago? And why can I not find it? Oh, good grief. That's ridiculous. I just used it. You saw me. I have a witness. There it is, hiding. Okay. I'll give this a nice fold. And then, again, I have cut this with a very narrow border. So I will use the liquid glue to put that on. So tomorrow is the start of the long May 2-4 weekend, which is the unofficial kickoff to summer, but don't know that it'll feel a whole lot like summer, but in Canada, that's how we celebrate it. There'll probably be lots of people going camping, or opening up cottages, or going to their cottage if it is already opened, and everybody just looking to reconnect with their their summer activities. So we'll see what we get. It's not supposed to be lovely, unfortunately. So many May 2-4 weekends aren't, though. Do you find that? I don't know whether it's you guys have better luck in your areas or not, but that's what I find. So, alrighty. We need a sentiment for this guy, and I'm going to go back to my basic white and pull in my Mary Merlot, and I think I will do happy birthday this time. So I don't know that I told you, the thank you and the happy birthday are both from the Heron Habitat stamp set, and if you've been following me, you know that this is one of the new ones from the new annual catalog, and I've just got it and I'm already in love with it. Look, even enjoy your day. I just love that. I love the sentiments. Sometimes it's the sentiments that grab you when you're looking at what stamp set you want to add to your stash. And for me, this one, it has the sentiments that grab me, but it also, I really like the images. This one, it was the heron that grabbed me first because of the cottage and the great blue herons that we have up here that we see on our lake all the time. But I do really like the sentiments in this as well. So it's a bonus. Okay, let's punch this out. Okay. Oof. We have cardstock bits flying everywhere. And I have a strip of Mary Merlot as well to punch the scallop banner, or the frame, scallop frame. There we go. Okay, so again, I'm going to do this one pretty much the same way I did the last one. I'm just going to add this to the frame, and we will put it onto the card in a moment. Could be a little bit higher. There we go. And I'll put this onto the card base. The card base I've got for this card is Balmy Blue, which is the color in the paper, so it should coordinate very nicely here. There we go. And then we will do some dimensionals on here. Let's see. Now I guess I possibly could have put this right up at the top, but I've got this guy ready to go now. So I think, do I want it even kind of low down at the bottom? No, I don't think I want it down at the bottom. A little busy, isn't it? I should have done this before I took the papers off, but maybe near the top, but down into the colored area a little bit. We'll go with this. Yeah, I think that will work. And then, of course, we need some gems for this guy. Now, he's very busy. Not sure, not entirely sure where we should go with this. Oh, maybe, maybe right here. So these are iridescent pearls, or the other thing, look, I have these, which are also new. These are heart pearls. Put some of these hearts on. I'm going to open these up. I'm not sure. There's 3 different sections in this package, and I haven't looked at it close enough to know what the differences are. It may tell me in the catalog, which I've not. I have not memorized the catalog yet. Okay, I never memorized the whole catalog, but so we have some at the top here, and it looks like large, small, large, small, large, small, large, small, large, small, large, small. But then these look Oh, no, I guess they're large and small. So what's the difference between the top and the bottom here?
I don't see a difference. Do you see a difference?
These are maybe matte. These are not, don't seem to be as shiny. They're sort of like a matte white, whereas these are a glossy white, and these are like a pearl white. So there's your differences. And the pearl white has a little bit of a yellow tone to it, as pearls often do. So I don't think I'll use those, but perhaps we'll just go with some of these from here. And then the next thing is, which way is up? And do we put these right? I don't know, put one right there on the flower. I think maybe if I put it on the colored part, you will see it a little bit better. So I'll put one here. Oops. I thought I had him right side up, but now he looks like he's mostly upside down. So, not that they have to be right side up, but you know me. For me, I think they will have to always be right side up. Here's right side up. So we'll go over to maybe this leaf. Come on. There we go. Should he be over here? He works over here, I think. Got to straighten them again now. I had them straight before. Now, I don't want them to look like they're in a line, though, do I? Because they're not. Some days the gems just, you know, their placement is easier than other days. We know this. Anyway, there we go. Okay, look at that. And I have one more that hopefully I can sneak in here. I did do some prep for it already, so it should be quick. Let me just show you. There's another piece of paper in this same package that looks like this. And I saw this, and this is similar to the trees, the first sheet that I showed you from the Forest Friends. It's like, oh, I could just fussy cut around there, and there's a card almost all made for you. So, look. There's some flowers already fussy cut. So I did do that in advance just to save some money today, or some time today. So I'm thinking that I'm going to put this on here. And I also, I die cut a couple of these, do you see how much faith I have in my stamping? These little banners from the sending dies. And I was going to use a card to say hello. I thought that, and I think I've mounted it somewhere. I just need to find it. Oh, here we go. It's clear. It's hard to see. So there it is. And since it is clear, I should grab this so that I have a little bit of cushioning under here. I'm just going to move this up a little bit so that I have a little better chance at getting this to work the way I want it to. I'll get this inked up. And see if I can get it down onto here. Keep your fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, hoping for the best. Straight, relatively centered. Yes, straight. Not bad on the centering. We'll take it. Good enough. It's a pretty narrow piece, so it could have been a little bit higher, but I think that it's okay. All right, and then I think that this needs to be glued down. I think it needs to be flat and adhered all around the edge. So I'm going to use my liquid glue for this, and I'm just going to put a thin bit, but pretty much all around the edge here, so that it does, because when you cut things with paper snips, it does tend to, it damages the paper, right? Truly, as you cut it, it's the paper would say it had been damaged, but it does change some of the fibers at the edge of your paper, and so sometimes they just lift a little bit or dip a little bit or something. So get some glue all around the edges, and then it will just sit nicely. And I'm just going to put that right about pretty much centered, actually, maybe ever so slightly towards the top, but not a whole lot. Okay, so I've kind of given that a bit of a press down, and then I'm going to turn it over and just give it a really nice back rub. And I do that so that I don't slide the paper around or anything, because it is the liquid glue. If you push on the top, you do run the risk of sliding it. So now this whole thing could get popped up, couldn't it? And I was thinking I would pop this up with dimensionals as well. Oh, we forgot to put this on the inside of that card. I'll have to go back and do that after. I'm just going to put a couple of dimensionals onto here. And then we can add it to the card. I was thinking right down, we'll just come across the bottom here. If we get it straight, it's a bonus. There we go. And then I think I will pop this whole thing up with dimensionals. So we'll just go ahead and put a whole cover everywhere with this. Kind of sort of get these backs off so that it actually sticks. When you are doing a whole large piece like this, it's a good idea to have some towards the middle, just so the cardstock doesn't end up sagging, especially if you live in a damp environment. If you're, we have a lot more humidity in Ontario than they do out west. So just something to be aware of. But this will just, it's got some support underneath to hold it. There we go. And then we're almost finished. Just one more important, hello Lorna. Welcome. Okay, so here's, these are glossy dots. I'm not positive what color they are, but, oh, look at the yellow too. The yellow is really bright. Now I can't decide. I was thinking maybe the blue, but the yellow is quite nice. Maybe we'll just stick with blue. Go with what you see first, because we're running into overtime too. So I'm going to just put some of these blue guys on. And there's 3 different sizes of these, so that's super interest, not just 2 sizes, but there we go. Get those out of the way. Move all this stuff over a bit. And there's the 3rd card. It did take a minute or 2 to fussy cut this. It's not difficult to fussy cut though, but that is a super quick card. Now if you wanted to step it up a little bit more, you could emboss this background piece, and that would add just a little bit more interest on that card. Or you can just leave it, plain as we did. I'm just going to go back and glue this strip into the inside of this card, and then it too will be finished. There we go. Open this up. And I think I'll put this right down on this same edge as we did the other one. There we go. So now there's no no extra strips of designer series paper sitting around. We use them both to decorate the inside of our cards. Isn't that, which is a fantastic thing to do. So there you go. There are the cards for today. Hopefully they are all in the camera. And that is your lunch break crafting. Easy crafting, quick and easy. Let the designer series paper do all the work for you. All you have to do is, oh look, I was kind of out of the camera on some of that stuff. Sorry, hopefully this is okay. I don't like the delay on Facebook. I don't see my problems until they're past. Anyway, that's lunch break for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have an awesome rest of the day, and we will see you all again very soon. Bye for now.